recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
It's morphin' time! Go, go, Power Rangers!
You Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Welcome back, friends and family, to a very nostalgic episode of the Back to the Basics show. We're your hosts. My name is Josh.
And I'm Eddie, and we're excited to jump back into the 90s and get back to the basics and talk some Power Rangers, man!
Man, I'm excited. We're going to be talking everything from the original show, some nostalgic memories, like always, the original movie, the last movie, and what the hell the future is for this franchise.
Something about a Legend of the White Dragon, I don't know, but the Power Rangers are alive and well, and I'm looking forward to the future. We might be getting some of the original cast back, man.
Well, the original cast is all that really matters, because it's only about the first 3 seasons, you know what I'm saying?
You tell me you're not a fan of Zeo? Oh, man, all I know is it's White Ranger Tiger Power, White Ranger Tiger Power.
Go, go, Power Rangers. Eddie, we're back in the dojo, man. We get back to the basics.
You gotta get back to the basics, back to the 90s with this one. It's morphin' time, brother.
What is more nostalgic than Power Rangers?
I don't know if a lot of things are more nostalgic than Power Rangers, but this is a burst of nostalgia today, man.
I'm going to be biased. Why do I always say
Wait,
that?
what? You probably are biased because it's Power Rangers.
So, well, all right. So, in the Power Ranger fandom, I'm an elitist.
Okay.
I only like the first few seasons, dude.
so like season 1 and 2 when they're the original just Power Rangers, right? I think it might be 3. Season 1, 2, and 3.
I think it's 1, 2, and 3. I think you're correct. 1, 2, and 3, and then the original live-action movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's all live-action, but the original feature film.
Power Rangers, the movie.
Up until then, after that, man, I'm going to be honest, dude. I grew out of it.
So you tell me you don't know nothing about Zeo, go, Zeo. Da, 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 da. Bro, it's epic.
They were going to space and they were in the jungle and shit, and I was like, "What?
Power Rangers in space, bro."
I think
I stayed on with Power Rangers for a long time.
And then there was like a gerbil, a hamster. That was
I remember that.
I don't, dude. I
think that was Time Force. Time Force. Yeah,
there was just so much, man.
I was damn near like. I want to say like middle school, maybe freshman year in high school, and I was still watching Power Rangers from the 90s till then. It was
ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I was still on it, man.
But there's nothing like the original Power Rangers.
100% original. Go Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
There's something in this dojo that's always here once the lights turn on and the cameras turn on and roll, man, and that's cringe. And Power Rangers, man, is the definition of cringe.
Hey, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Cringe in the 90s, that's where it's at, bro.
Dude, watching Power Rangers, and I'm talking like I watched it when it first hit America, right? Because as a kid, I didn't know that. I think we talked about this in the episode.
We talked about it a little bit, that there was dubbed, right?
Well, I didn't know that all the fight scenes were filmed in Japan.
In Japan, yeah.
And it was part of an ongoing series of its own. And then they Americanized it, and they got these American actors, and they told their own tale.
Yep. Group of teenagers with attitude.
And I think it was only until the last few years that original Japanese series has finally concluded. It has gone on from the 90s. Damn. And there's so many offshoots.
Hella material.
Yeah, and there's so many offshoots of Power Rangers. We talk about Beetleborgs. We talk about...
it influenced a lot, man.
Jeez, now I can't think about it. VR Troopers.
There was even the Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover.
Well, that was later, yeah.
It was hella fire.
I'm a fan of that Ninja Turtles show too, man.
Yeah.
That's cringe.
And that inspired, I believe that inspired that, because that Ninja Turtles show is a lot like Power Rangers.
I think it's a lot of the same production company, a lot of the same writers, and it's a very small, Saban.
Oh, yeah, Saban Films, man.
Yeah.
Saban.
You know what's crazy too? I told you I had just off topic. I told you I just watched that Akimbo movie.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the movie, it said Saban.
Of course it did, because he's everywhere now.
And I was like, what?
Yeah,
that's
man.
cool. I didn't know they're still making movies.
They are making movies. I want to say Jay and Silent Bob reboot is a Saban film.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At the end, it says Saban film.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, Power Rangers, man, I'm going to tell you this. When I was young, Power Rangers first came out. I had my best friend at the time. And I'm talking, we were like, what, 5, 6?
You had to be really young.
Yeah. We'd be rollerblading around the apartment complex, watching Power Rangers. And one of the reasons why Power Rangers will always be in my heart is because my best friend, his name was Jonathan.
Okay.
And Power Rangers was our thing.
Of course it was.
Unfortunately, he had got like a brain tumor.
Okay.
And he passed.
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember.
I've told you the
me.
story. Yeah. And the one thing that we bonded over, and we're talking children, but he was my first best friend.
Yeah.
And the bonding was Power Rangers. It was Power Rangers and Biker Mice from Mars.
That's awesome, man.
I mean, some of the last few weeks he was alive, my mom took me to the store, and I wanted to give him an action figure. Action figures were my thing.
Yeah.
So I got Biker Mice from Mars action figure.
What?
And that was the last thing I gave him. And the whole thing cemented with a week or two after he had passed away. His mom had been gifted the VHS box set of the Green Ranger saga. And I'll never forget, she pulled it out of a bag and said, Jonathan would want you to have this.
Dude, that is so emotional.
It is. And Power Rangers is emotional to me because of that friendship and him passing and his mom, because he cherished that box set.
Yeah.
The Green Ranger, I forgot what it's called. Like, the Green Ranger arc,
yeah,
basically.
It's like his story.
I think it was maybe 5 or 6 VHSs.
Dude.
And when she handed me that, bro, I was a kid, but...
You still got it?
No.
Oh,
unfortunately, not no. Not that I know of. It might be in the garage. A lot of the things I had when I was young, I don't have anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
Most of everything.
That is a touching story, man.
But yeah, that's what Power Rangers means to me, and that's one of those things where being able to share the first season or two with him, and how it meant so much. It just never was the same again, and I think maybe that was the driving arc or the driving wedge that made me drift away from Power Rangers.
Gotcha.
But I just wanted to share that.
And that is very powerful. That's very strong, and I think I personally didn't have something so touching other than just my fascination and love. I think when I was in the 90s, everything was like martial arts, right? So, So Power Rangers just fit right in with Mortal Kombat and Ninja Turtles and Three Ninjas, and you got Power Rangers, and me and my brother would watch it. So every, I don't know if it was Saturday mornings or if it was like a weekly thing at the time. I think Power Rangers was on weekdays.
Yeah, I think
weekdays,
it was like
or
Saturday or I forgot what day it was.
It changed so much back then.
But it was definitely part of the Saturday nostalgia.
Yes, Fox Kids, right? So so we would always watch it. Get home from school, you're watching Power Rangers, and I remember some of my earliest memories is being like on the playground or being in like kindergarten, running around playing Power Rangers, Morphin time. Like, that's just the thing that everybody was doing back then. You always wanted to be a Power Ranger. My favorite at the time was the Blue Ranger.
Really?
Not so popular, but I felt like I was more like that geeky, nerdy Blue Ranger. And I think everybody else was probably like Tommy or Jason.
It was Tommy
red
or
or white,
Jason.
red or Green Ranger.
For me, man, it was the Black Ranger.
Really?
Oh yeah, always been my favorite.
What?
Zach had more charisma.
Oh yeah.
Than anyone else on that set.
Yeah.
He was full of energy.
Hip hop keto. Hip hop keto, bro.
And he was just full of energy. He was full of charisma. He was always positive.
Yeah,
and
he
I
had that
loved
life.
Zach.
Yeah, he had that life, man.
And I loved Zach. And you can't. And I think what now has made me such a fan of kaijus
Oh, interesting.
is Power Rangers.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It's literally martial arts and kaijus, dude. It's
Yeah.
from Japan, bro.
Yeah.
So giant monsters and mechs.
Megazords.
And you just can't get anything better than Power Rangers.
You go back and watch it, and a lot of it is cringe, but there's a lot of good material in Power Rangers. Just some of the storylines.
Yes.
I remember always having the I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger Christmas edition VHS, and it was all Tommy White Ranger, and it was all Christmas themed, and it was just I would put it on every Christmas, and that was like
cool.
it was something really interesting, and it was like a Christmas special, and it was Tommy and Kimberly and like their relationship, and I still remember just having that VHS. That was probably the only VHS that I had of Power Rangers. And that's why it still sticks with me, but it made Christmas special for me. Christmas and Power Rangers.
That's cool.
They're
I don't think I've never watched
Go
that.
back and watch it, man.
That
It's
might
beautiful.
be something I'll have to watch 2021 Christmas, Dreaming of a White Ranger.
I think in that one they had already switched the cast though, so it was like the people from the Power Rangers movie, the cast from the Power Rangers movie. So
And
Aisha and
I did like Aisha. I did like that next cast, but it
Yeah.
was when it changed again. It was just too far off. Man.
Yeah, because Aisha and all them, they went into Zeo, but then you had, I want to say you had another Yellow Ranger and then the other Pink Ranger, Cat, which was a blonde chick.
You mentioned Kimberly. You mentioned the Pink Ranger, and nowadays you talk about 90s, everyone's going to bring up, my first crush was
bro.
Kimberly.
It had to be. She was a gymnast, all flexible, all cute, attitude.
No.
It was Kimberly.
You called it. It was Trini.
No.
My first crush ever was the Yellow Ranger.
I know, you told me, man.
And I loved Trini.
Trini.
Did I ever tell you that story? Did I ever talk about it on the show?
Which one?
About when I was on on the way to school on the bus, and
I think so.
I had a little Power Rangers booklet.
You wanted to make babies with Trini.
I said I want 100 babies with Trini. I want 100 babies.
Over here, 10 years old, trying to make babies with Trini.
I was younger than 10.
Oh,
I don't even know how you made babies. Imagine
Hey.
if I did. I would have been. I want 200 babies. But Yellow Ranger, bro.
she was special. She was the original Yellow Ranger.
And there was a lot of the originals, but yeah, man, I was a Yellow Ranger. I was a Trini fan over Kimberly. Man, Kimberly was the popular one,
Of course, yeah.
But I did love Kimberly and Green Ranger.
Tommy.
Tommy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
their relationship.
It's been a long time since I watched Power Rangers. I love that buildup of their relationship.
Yeah, how Tommy comes in and just starts whooping ass
Bro.
for like 5 episodes long. He's just like, fuck the Power Rangers. Kick you out your Megazord. Bum, 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 bum. He's just whooping ass.
What? I think there's a 2-parter. It's called like the Green Candle.
Yeah, something
What
like
was that?
Yeah.
Remember when Rita locks Jason in that room with Goldar? And there's
Yeah.
just smoke everywhere on the
So
ground.
cool,
and
man.
the Green Ranger's just jacking everything up, and the Red Ranger's locked away fighting Goldar. It's just the best of the best, dude.
Some of the best Power Rangers episodes are when they lose their powers. Those are
Yeah.
some of the best for me, is seeing Tommy come in and basically almost strip the Power Rangers and say, you guys fucking suck. There are no more Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It's all about the Green Ranger. So, and I know that happens in those episodes, is he almost destroys the Power Rangers. One alone. The Green Ranger candle coin, whatever.
He destroys the base.
The Megazords, the command center.
Command center. There you go.
Alpha 5 gets his ass whooped. He's just killing everybody, dude.
Zordon.
But nobody whooped as much ass as Ivan Ooze in that movie.
Oh my goodness.
He destroyed the command center, bruh.
I don't know who's worse, Ivan Ooze or Jim Carrey's Riddler. You know how the Riddler goes into the Batcave?
They're both iconic, bro. They're both great.
That was what I really compared it to. Was like the whole Batman Forever, and then the Ivan Ooze. They both destroyed like the Batcave and the
But
command
you
center.
think about it, who else did that? Like, who went into the Batcave and just blew it up? The Riddler.
Caffeine
went
will
in-
kill you.
Hey, Who went into the command center and blew it up? Although later in the episodes, before Zeo, they do destroy the command center.
Yeah.
Which is really tight. That whole ending episode is like, what the fuck? Because Power Rangers lose their powers, they blow up the command center, and there's no more. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Zordon's gone. Now we gotta look for the Zeo crystals.
I loved the entire concept of Rita Repulsa. She had her minions, and she was like on the moon.
After 10,000 years,
I'm free.
time to conquer Earth.
And I loved the Putty Patrol.
Buddy Patrol.
It was just so awesome.
Bro.
And every episode you had this cast of villains, right? But we got a new villain, a new minion every single episode, and they would craft it. And I forget some of their names, but like the Doctor, he would make this villain, and he would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this, and I'm gonna do that." And they were
Dr.
all.
Finkel.
I wanted to say that. That's
Finkel.
that's
Some,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That is Nightmare Before Christmas, but
It's
Finster. Finster.
Yes.
Make my monster
To
grow.
grow.
Bro, Power Rangers had some epic moments. What you know about Rito Repulso, though?
See, I don't.
What you know about Rito?
I'm all about you
Lord
go from
Zed?
Rita to Lord
Zed, bro.
That's when shit gets serious.
Yeah.
And Zed, I still will say to this day, is probably one of the most classic looking villains of all time.
What the hell was he made of? He was just all like a meat skin suit. Like he was just red.
He had like no skin.
Bro, that shit is creepy.
And his staff.
How about that mask? He looked like the Shredder, like Shredder 2.0 or something.
Dude.
That staff was sick though.
Dude.
Big old Z staff.
Lord Zed's look is just iconic.
Rita calls him Zeddy. Zeddy.
And you got Rita with her freaking Madonna torpedo.
Bro, yeah.
Chest.
Big old boobs.
Like,
Big old
what?
cone boobs.
But let's get into the original movie. Outside of Ivan Ooze was epic. Those suits,
Dude.
those leather suits are still some of the best suits I've seen in any movie.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
From the 90s.
And the storyline, especially the whole first half, they go to Phaedos or something like
They
that.
get like
a
their
different-
animal coins.
Different planet, and the command center gets trashed again because of Ivan Ooze, and everything's just in disarray. And with the last power that they have, Zordon's dying. The last power that they have, he sends them to Phaedos to go look for those animal coins, to look for the fucking Xena warrior princess chick.
Yeah.
She's tight. She's hot.
Even those outfits they had before they got the actual like the
Nin-
ninja outfits were
Ninjetsu or
sick,
dude.
But
Ninjetti. I think that's it.
brings us to the last Power Rangers movie.
Were you a fan of that movie? Do you
Let's
like
talk
it?
about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, man.
Yes. Yes, I am a fan of it. It's the same thing, man. You're talking to a guy that loves 90s cringe. I love it all, man. I'm a Power Rangers fan, and like I said, I'm not a fan of the later seasons like I know you were.
Oh, yeah.
They're not part of my nostalgia or my history or my memories. But give me Power Rangers now, and it's some 90s nostalgia that I could hold on to and stay afloat in this crazy world.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Is the movie not the greatest?
Nah.
No, it's not the greatest. But I liked the cast of characters.
I did too. I was a fan of the cast.
I was a fan of the cast. I was very hyped for it. I'm going to tell you, man, the part that it failed for me was Rita
and Goldar. Those two.
Failed.
Terrible, bro.
Failed on all accounts.
Terrible. I actually like that actress that played Rita.
In comedies.
But yeah,
Not
but
in
her
Power Rangers.
as Rita just didn't do it for me. It was definitely like some 90s cringe kind of, but I was like, but this is like a 2010, 2015, 16.
2012 maybe?
Like this
I
is
could
a
be
new
wrong.
age movie, and she still seems like very, I don't know, man. It was kind of weird. Goldar being like liquid gold was really weird.
Her tooth and shit, and it's like Dunkin' Donuts.
I was gonna say it. Dunkin' Donuts just all over the place because they sponsored the movie.
Bad advertisement, dude.
It was very. Hey, you want cringe? It was very cringe.
I wouldn't say it was cringe. I just say it was bad writing and
bad way to.
It was a bad landing, dude. They just didn't stick to the landing.
Bryan Cranston as Zordon.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty damn good. Zach, the Black Ranger who plays Liu Kang, who's awesome. Yes. I even liked the Jason Red Ranger. He was cool.
They were all good.
Yeah, Trini.
I think the cast was good.
Billy's my favorite character of that whole movie.
Yeah.
He's like on the spectrum and he's weird, bro. It's perfect.
That was the one thing I did like, and I think some people didn't like, is they added a he was on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I think he had autism or something.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
ADHD. He was just like all over the place.
And so these characters had like these real world issues they were going through. I thought the Yellow Ranger, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And see, you say you like the Blue Ranger because you love the Blue Ranger, and me, I was drawn to the Yellow Ranger because I like the Yellow Ranger. And then Zach, you had, his mom was dying.
Yeah.
And so, like, every character had these issues, I didn't really like how they made the Red Ranger, like, a football jock.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I wanted him to still be, like, into
martial arts. And, like, weightlifting.
That was the whole part that I was like, where's the martial arts aspect of it? They didn't get introduced into martial arts until they were training to become Power Rangers. And I was like, that's kind of weird because in the 90s, in the original Power Rangers, it was all centered around martial arts.
Yeah.
They were always in the Angel Grove
and none of
Cafe.
these people knew martial arts.
No, not at all. And
I
then
don't
they
think,
just like...
I don't think a single one of the kids
artists.
Had any martial art history.
No. It was a really weird choice to like
they were
go
just
that direction.
Teenagers with attitude, right?
They definitely captured the attitude part of it.
Yeah.
I did like the Jason and Billy like friendship.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I like the movie. I do like the movie. There's just certain aspects I don't like about it.
I think it's good up until the last part of the movie.
Yep. And it's funny because that's where the original movie loses me too. When it's the big battle in the middle of the city, and that is like some just really bad CGI.
Oh, and they're
like
graphics. Flying around and shit.
Bro, so terrible.
It was so bad.
It looks like really bad computer, like early 90s.
I just don't know why they didn't stick to what they had been doing on the show.
Yeah,
like we should have just stuck to that.
Yeah, we were already used to it.
Yeah,
and the new one, that's where it loses me too. Not so much like because the look of the Zords is okay. I kind of wanted that more of like an original look, but
I think they looked pretty badass. We just watched the end of the movie a week or two ago.
Yeah, and when that dun, 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 that hits, dude, I'm like, okay, Power Rangers. I remember being in theaters watching it, and I was like, they did it. They did it.
Yes, they got the song, bro, and they come together and they're Billy, and then they're all working together.
It's cool. It definitely has its moments, but it just doesn't quite hit it for me. And I guess it fell short at the box office too because there was supposed to be a part 2.
I think they originally said we have plans for like 5 or 7 or 4 movies.
They hinted Tommy at the very end, which I was excited for. I was like, Tommy's there. He's in the universe. They're like, Tommy Oliver. They're back in detention.
Yeah.
And so they set it up, but now there's a new reboot.
Is there?
There's going to be a new Power Rangers reboot. And apparently, they're trying to work on all 6 cast members to come back. Or, well, I guess not Trini, but some of the original cast. They want to get Power Rangers
from the show,
from the original shows. They want to get them back to reprise their roles in some way, shape, or form.
And the fact that they didn't have them as cameos
at the very end, they're standing down when the Zord is up.
Is there a couple of them?
Yeah, it's I think it's Tommy, Kimberly.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they
They show him for like 5
yeah,
5 seconds.
Jason. Yeah, they're there, but they're
okay.
just like waving at the Zord, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Power Rangers, man. There's just so much to it. There's so much possibilities if they just do it right. I don't think Power Rangers needs to be this dark, philosophical thing.
No,
It could be. I've always fantasized about an amazing, deep, dark, not dark, but a very complex Power Rangers live action.
I know
movies.
you got your script, man. I know you got it.
But this movie just didn't hit right. Maybe they can come out. I think they just need to have more fun with it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to be this top blockbuster movie, they need to just take what worked in the original show and franchise is fun, fun-hearted. I'm going to say it, man. It just needs to be some family fun and
Story
walking away from explosions, man.
Yeah.
Martial arts.
Definitely.
And a tale about teenagers becoming best friends and saving the fucking world, dude.
That's it, man. That's all. That's what it's always been about. It's teenagers with attitude, saving the world. But my question, what do you think about Legend of the White Dragon? Just real quick. Legend of the White Dragon.
Legend of the what?
Tommy Oliver himself is doing I think it's with Bat in the Sun.
Okay, I love their work.
Yeah, they're doing their own like independent, basically Power Rangers movie, and they have a couple of the other casts of Power Rangers gonna be starring in it, and it's gonna be called The Legend of the White Dragon.
Awesome.
And it's being made right now. I think there was a lot. There was like for a couple years there was a lot of like fan campaigning, and they like raised money for it, and now they're actually shooting it.
We did watch the and you had never seen it, but
No.
that fan film
crazy.
that real dark one.
Yeah, dude, that was
Where, like,
awesome.
Zach is doing his hip hop ketos, banging whores and like doing coke.
That was some dark shit, dude.
It was very dark.
But it was so good.
It was very good. It had a lot of potential, man.
It's like you could have made a movie series out of this. I would have watched it.
But Hollywood just sucks.
Yeah. But that's why you do independent films, right?
Yeah,
you do fan films.
I love
That's where the good shit is.
what's his name?
Jason David Frank?
Jason David Frank.
Tommy.
He is just so passionate about he says he will be, Tommy Oliver till the day he dies.
He's still going to Comic-Cons and shit, dressed up as the Green and White Ranger.
His whole life is Power Rangers, and I love that. I love his work with Bat in the Sun. I'm a fan of theirs. I watch most of everything they put out.
Yeah, man.
And I hope going forward that Power Rangers doesn't fizzle.
No, I'm excited for more Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Give me some Putty Patrol, baby.
Yeah, and there's just so much they could do. And you really can't talk about Power Rangers without talking about the two greatest characters.
Oh, Bulk and Skull.
Bulk and Skull, the comedy relief.
Oh yeah, they were amazing, and I don't know why they weren't in that last movie. There were some bullies in there, but they didn't name them Bulk and Skull. They're the comedy.
Yeah,
you gotta have some comedy with all the action and martial arts and everything.
I loved Bulk and Skull because they're the Power Rangers are doing their thing, and then all of a sudden like they were so slapstick. It was very Three Stooges.
They were the problem away from the problem. You know, like Rita was the main threat, but then you still had to deal with Bulk and Skull, and you're like, you're Power Rangers, but you can't do anything about them. Like, you can't tell them that. And they became a really cool part of the whole show.
Well, they're the heart of the show, right? And it's crazy too because Skull is he's very intelligent. He's like a college professor, and going back and you see the way they act.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's just the opposite side of the coin of his character, and it's so cool to see how some actors can really come outside of who they are and be completely different.
Yeah, man.
And at the end of the day, man, Power Rangers will always be in my heart.
So much 90s goodness.
It will always honestly be a huge chunk of the 90s for me. And I hope it thrives in the future. I hope a new generation gets introduced to Power Rangers. And I hope they stick to the earlier story arcs instead of going to space.
Ain't nothing wrong with Power Rangers in space, man. But it's always go, go Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin. Aye, aye, aye. Well, that was a more phenomenal conversation, Josh.
More phenomenal.
Yeah, man. Talk to your girl, Kimberly. She made it up.
That's a pretty cool word.
I think Alpha's calling, man. It's time to jump back into the Megazord and get back to the basics.
Whoa, dude, our power coins are freaking going crazy. And remember, friends, until next time,
stay nostalgic
on that eternal quest
to get back to the basics.